Adriana here, and welcome to the Recovered Party Girl podcast. I am your host, and welcome to the Recovery Room. We are back with another episode. I just want to thank you guys so much for listening, for watching, for liking, for sharing, all of that good stuff. Sorry about last week's episode. I tried my hardest to upload it on YouTube, but it would not let me, and I was frustrated, and I just was over it, and I just said fuck it. So hopefully this one will not give me grief. So here we go, we're gonna jump right in. So I just want to talk, firstly I want to say RIP to Coolio. I know he died a couple weeks ago, but I hold a very special place in my heart for him because he actually stayed with me and my roommate at the time one weekend when I lived in Dallas, and literally stayed, spent the night, the whole weekend. I really wish, when I heard that he passed, I was desperately looking for pictures, because it was like, if you were not there, you probably would think that I was lying, but I absolutely had Coolio in my place, and it's like a kind of like a running joke now with my friends that were around at that time. So I got a lot of messages, when he passed, and I had posted something on my personal IG page that he stayed with me, and so people were asking me like, oh, you gotta tell the story, or you need to tell the story, or what happened. And one person thought I apparently had sex with him, or I was fucking with him, but that was so far from the case. No, he actually was there for the girl I was living with, my roommate, and she was actually friends with him. So she had other people. I think they went to a wedding that weekend, and random. It was a whole bunch of white people, and there was Coolio. So anyway, so I wanted to kind of touch on that really fast before I jump into the episode, because it was a funny time. That was a funny weekend. It was random. I remember she came into my room, was like, hey, Coolio's coming this weekend, and we got to go pick him up from the airport. And I was like, Coolio the rapper? Gangsta's Paradise? And she was like, yes, Coolio. So I was like, that's what? He's going to be staying with us? And she's like, yes. So we go to pick him up from the airport, and lo and behold, we pick him up from DFW, and he had a hat on with the little things, coming out of his hat, his hair. And I'm like, yo, it's really Coolio. And he at the time, he was transitioning into being a chef, and so he cooked dinner for us the entire weekend. I remember I took him to the grocery store, and I was like annoyed because people kept coming up to him, and I'm really, I'm hungry, so I'm like, let's go, let's get this food, let's get back to the house, I think the first night he made like some egg rolls. It was like this Thai Chinese type vibe, so he made these bomb ass egg rolls, and they were so good, and we ate them up. And at the time, that was a part of my 40 days, 40 nights wilderness phase. I was out in the desert, and yeah. Anyway, so I was always hungry, and that food was just so bomb. And I remember he was just telling me about his aspirations of becoming a chef. He wanted to have a show, a cooking show, and all this stuff. So he was a really, really cool guy. We went out, and he was so nice and so friendly, and of course he was a nigga, so niggas do what niggas do. And I remember that I think he got into it with my friend, or it was some type of spat. And at the time, my room, we had a big apartment, and her room was on that side, my room was on this side, and my bathroom was on the outside of my room. So I had to share, if people were, if we had guests or what have you, my bathroom was the community bathroom. So, when he was there, I guess she kicked him out of the room or something. And I remember he came knocking on my door asking to stay in my room. I said, absolutely not. The couch is all yours though. And you can use the bathroom. So no, couch, the bathroom, that's as much as you're gonna get out of me. So but other than that, he was a sweetheart, super cool, very funny, a great cook, great cook, and we went out. It's really cool, you know, because Gangsta's Paradise, and I don't want, in my mind, like when I see, like, you know, celebrities of the 90s and stuff like that, and he had these like really classic songs and shit like that, like I wanted to kind of dig deeper into why he made that song, but then I was just like, nah, let me just let him be him, and you know, just enjoy his presence or whatnot. But super cool guy, and RIP to him and his, and much love to his family, because he was just that was a time. I really wish I had those pictures, because and people, like the people that were there know, like, I'm not lying. Coolio literally stayed in my apartment. He slept on the couch. He tried to sleep in my room, but I wasn't having it. And yeah, that was a good time. That was a fun weekend. That was a random ass weekend. Like, I've met celebrities and, you know, athletes and shit like that, but that Coolio, like, that was a random ass. My hair, I had dyed my hair cherry cola red. I'll have to find some of the pics of that night, but it wasn't with Coolio, but it was just like with the girls that I was with. But anywho, yeah, so on to the next topic. Kanye West. I am not a fan. I mean, I do, okay, I'll say this. I'm a fan of College Dropout and what is it? Graduation. Anything after that, I'm not really sure of. But definitely College Dropout and the Graduation album. Those I do play those still. Excuse me. But I don't, you know, it's just something about him that makes me feel like he's just fucking trolling black people, or, you know, the whole White Lives Matter shirt, and this, you know, the Kardashian thing, and these, you know, I don't know, man. I'm about sick of it. I want to be out of that group chat. I really wish people would stop reporting on him, because sometimes I feel like he's just trolling. I don't know if it's mental health. I don't care at this point. I just want him to shut the fuck up and either make music, make clothes. Actually, don't make clothes. We don't want to wear wholly homeless clothes. And I just think that, you know, this back and forth of White Lives Matter, but I got black kids, but White Lives Matter, you married a white woman, but you go back to saying, pick the side of the fence you want to be on, my boy. Pick a side of the fence you want to be on and shut the fuck up, because you married a white woman, you had babies with her naturally, and, you know, through the surrogacy shit. Like, pick your poison. You, like, stop all this narrative of I'm a black man, and shut up. Shut the fuck up. I really wish Kanye West would shut the fuck up. It's like, make music, make clothes, and just shut the fuck up. Like, we get it. Like, you can, like, I don't know. It's just something about him going on these shows, talking about black man this, black man that. And I don't have anything against, you know, interracial dating. I am from Corpus Christi, Texas, okay? We did not have a whole lot of black people where I'm from. So I have a well-diverse family of, you know, what interracial, whatever. I'm not against that. You know, if I meet me a nice Hispanic or, you know, Asian, whatever. If I meet me a good man, Savannah, I'm gonna take him in whatever color he comes in, and I guarantee you, I'm not going to be pandering, talking about, you know, my black kids, and, you know, I feel like it's enough. I'm so sick and fucking tired of clicking on, you know, my apps or whatever, and it's like, him, shut the fuck up already, please, shut up, tired of it. Anywho, Let's just dive into the episode. So this week, I wanted to discuss the topic of living in your authentic truth, being your authentic self, and owning it, and not being ashamed or hiding or making yourself less to make other people feel comfortable. This topic came about, again, as y'all know, I'm in a space of recovery, right? Like I'm not, recovered. I'm in the space of going in and trying to get some introspection of myself and that kind of thing. And I really believe that it is important that when we go anywhere outside of our homes or even in our homes, that we show up as our authentic self. So the reason why I picked this subject is because it's been weighing heavy on me for the last couple weeks. Reason being is because sometimes I feel like I shrink in order to make people feel comfortable. And I'm in a space spiritually, mentally, emotionally that I can no longer do that. And it's going to ruffle feathers, and it has ruffled feathers. And I had somebody tell me that I'm a lot or I'm too much. And I asked, what does that even mean? I'm too much. What does I'm too much mean? And the response I got was, you're just too much. And I thought to myself, I'm too much because I expect the same thing back that I give. Is that too much? Or maybe, the ideal that you see or perceive me as, you're idealizing me, but the reality of me is so much more, and maybe you can't connect with that because you're not at that level. And when somebody, I used to always hear, I am too much. I need to tone it down. When I was a kid, I was always told I'm too loud. I talk too much. Be quiet. I'm supposed to be seen, not heard. And that outfit is too much. Why are you wearing all that sequins? Girl, what you got on? Like, take that off. Like, I was always too much. And growing up, I internalized that. And so in order for me not to be too much and make people feel comfortable around me so I can feel the love and support that I need, I had to dial it down. And I think that's so unfair that we put that on people, because just because you are not equipped to handle my fabulousness or my greatness or whatever, that doesn't mean that I need to tone it down. That means you need to maybe tone it up, or maybe get the fuck out of my way and stop trying to be friends with me, or stop trying to be my boyfriend, or stop trying to like me if I'm too much for you. Like, get the fuck out of here. When I redid the podcast, I had a couple of people that have known me for a really long time. They wrote me messages, and it made me cry, because I really, like I said on the first episode, I really want this show to be authentically me. I want it to be about where I'm at in my life, where spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all of that. And when they heard the show, they messaged me, and they mentioned how proud they were and how excited that they were to listen and to see the growth in me. And it made me cry, because I really, 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 really have shrunken myself to make people feel comfortable. And this is in every aspect of my life, because I've always been told I'm too much, I need to be quiet, I'm too loud, I'm too this, I'm too that. It's like, and I've internalized it so much to where I am afraid, or I have been afraid, to just be me in all of my glory. And I can't do that anymore, and I'm not going to. And I really believe that there are people out there that are walking in the same path. And I would encourage you to be who you are in all of your glory and all that you are. And if somebody makes you feel bad about it, check them. Because right now I'm in the process of checking people. Listen, don't come barking up this tree if you not ready for the tree to fall on you. Wait, that was a Jay-Z quote. Don't bark up this tree, because this tree will fall on you. That's it. That's what it was. Don't bark up this tree, because this tree will fall on you. Please listen, guys. I know I will say it to the end. Don't, please, man, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I don't need somebody idealizing me or whatever. I am much more than what you perceive. I'm deeper than what you think, and I've always been. Even as a little girl, I think, I don't know, one day I was just looking through some pictures of me when I was a kid, and I've always been myself, always. And I feel like the people that were in charge of my growing up, I think were overwhelmed by my deepness. The reason why I say that, I came across this book, and it's called The Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. And when I saw it on Twitter, I was scrolling one morning and I saw it on Twitter, and it just jumped out at me. And I said, oh my God, let me find it on Audible. I love Audible. This is not a plug, none of that. I simply love Audible. Even though I do love books tangibly, I like to flip the page. I like buying books. Audible, especially because I drive a lot for my job, and if I do my walkouts, that's my workout. I don't necessarily work out, I walk. I do a fast walk, so I call it a walkout. And I like to listen to my audiobooks. So I came across this book, Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. And it literally slapped me the fuck in my face, and it made so much sense. And it just made everything kind of align with what I was feeling, what I felt as a kid. I'm a very emotional person. I'm very sensitive. I read somewhere where I was a colic baby. And I read somewhere where children that are colicky, that they cry, they have stomach issues or whatever, they're very sensitive, and in a spiritual sense, I guess you can say, whatever, I don't know. But I was a colicky baby, so I cried, but it was like this thing that clicked, because it said that it's a sensitivity thing. I'm very sensitive. As much as I don't care about a lot of stuff, the things that I do care about, I care about it deeply. And if I care about you, if you're my friend, or if you're my boyfriend, or if I love you, I care about you deeply. And I'm very sensitive to that. My feelings get hurt. And I was always told as a kid, I'm too sensitive, or, you're too emotional. Oh my God. But really I wasn't. I just felt a lot. I always felt a lot as a kid. I felt people's energy. I could always tell when somebody was sad or their mood shifted or something like that. And this book really kind of explained the dynamic between my parents and my grandparents, and how the family was towards me, because I was always labeled as the emotional, the wild card, the black sheep, the one that don't listen. But I when I was labeled I didn't listen, or a problematic kid, it was because I had questions. And I think our parents' generations, our parents' generation, the generation before that, they were so hardcore, and no emotions. You can't cry. You can't even tell your problems. You can't say shit. Keep it all inside. It don't matter what's happening, and I always asked questions, and I was always kind of like shunned or dismissed or made to feel like what I was feeling, I didn't have no business feeling or what have you. And I always internalized that, and I made sure not to rock the boat, especially when I was younger. Now I don't really give a fuck. Corpus when I was 18, 19, and I really just wanted to leave. I wanted to get out of there. I was working, and I just wanted to fucking get out of there because I could not be myself in that environment, because it was very controlling. It was very you know, you gotta live a certain way, you gotta look a certain way, you gotta date a certain somebody, and it was all these rules that I just didn't understand, and I wasn't going to try to understand, because you know. And then, you know, they threw that religion, you know, we black folks, so you know religion's gonna be thrown on it too, you know, honor thy father and mother, you know, therefore your days to be long. Listen, God put it on my heart to, and then this is what really messed up, you know, this is what caused a lot, because I always challenge, well, if God put it on my heart, why would God put it on my heart if I couldn't do it? Or if I'm really disobeying you, why would God put that on my heart to do? Why is this a thing? And after reading this book, I realized that I internalized so much, and I was just so ready to get out of this box of control that I was placed in. And again, I internalized that into adulthood because I didn't know. And here I am in a whole new environment, and it was like a culture shock, because again, I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas. The population of black people are very minimal. Okay, I think in my graduating class, we had like maybe 15, 20 of us, and it was like 400 kids. So, like, it was very, very small population of black people. So when I moved to Houston, it was just like niggas everywhere. Like, whoa, what? You know, but it was great to see so many people that look like me, and, you know, their hair was just like mine, and, you know, I can relate and all that stuff. But again, I don't know how to be myself because I was never allowed to be myself. And reading this book really kind of helped me to understand that I was shrinking to make other people feel comfortable. And you start looking at people like, damn, everybody's just faking it. And I really, really, really enjoyed listening to this book because it helped me identify the areas in which I do shrink myself around people. And now I'm intentional about when I go into a room, anywhere I go, I show up as myself. I make sure I speak to people that I need to, you know, I'm nice and I'm assertive, and I handle my business the way I need to. I speak up when I need to, and I'm learning to set boundaries with people and being honest about my boundaries and being honest about the things that I'm uncomfortable with. Even in dating, I had guys tell me I'm too much. And I used to think, damn, maybe I am too much. Maybe I am asking for too much, but really I'm not too much. Because I've always been an emotionally deep person. And even as a kid, I was super sensitive. Like I said, I can tell when somebody's mood is off. I can sense these things. And I was always labeled as a emotional person. I remember my dad told me I'm too emotional. I'm like, no, you just are immature. But I say all of that to say that it is important that we not shrink ourselves in spaces, because I want people to either like me or not like me based on exactly what you see. I don't need you. I don't need no representative of myself for you to kind of make a guess on. And I think that that's important in dating as well. Like, I'm very mindful of that. I like to, and I know sometimes it's like when I tell my friends, like, yeah, I'll show up with no makeup on, or like in pajamas or whatever, or I'll show up in like my workout clothes and stuff like that. I want people to, or the people that I would potentially date or be my partner, listen, I am as is. I will always be me. No matter the setting, the place, the time of day, I will always be me. I have very different moods. I'm not moody, but I believe in being myself. I don't believe in wearing makeup all the fucking time. I don't believe in having my hair done or looking perfect all the time, because that's a lot of energy that I don't really sometimes have, and I shouldn't feel ashamed of that. And if dating, to me, I feel like if you cannot have me, or if you cannot deal with me when I don't have makeup on, my hair looks a mess, I'm in my sweats, or I just look crazy, then you don't deserve me at my best. Because I'm gonna give it to you up front. I'm gonna give that to you first, because I want to see how your reaction. Because if you can't handle me at that, I know my friend told me I was crazy for thinking that, but it's true. I want somebody to see me without makeup first. I want somebody to see me without hair done, without any, like, all of that, dressed down, looking crazy. I want you to see that first, because 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to get a lot. But when I do, trust me, I know how to look the part. But I want to make sure that you see me in all my entirety before you make your decision to be my man or whatever. Because that's important to me. I need you to see me in my entirety. I don't want to hide things. I don't want to hide parts of myself anymore. I don't want to be made to feel like I have to look a certain way, or it's a look that, nah, nigga, I am who the fuck I am. I am who I am, and I will always be that in every day, all day, from sun up to sundown. I will be myself. And I am not perfect. I do not claim perfection. Perfection to me is boring. I don't care about that. I care about being true to myself. And a lot of times I've felt bad about not being too much. And now, as I've gotten older, I've made that commitment to myself that everywhere I go, I'm going to show up as myself in whatever capacity that I'm in, and I'm just going to be that. And I feel like that has done me more good than bad. I'm learning to be more honest about my feelings. If I have hurt feelings, or somebody, especially like my close friends or whatnot, learning to be more honest about, no, that's not going to work for me. No, I can't do that. I can't, I don't want to do that shit. Being honest with myself, and it's almost like I'm reparenting myself. Because I love my parents. I absolutely believe that they did the best that they could do with what they knew. And after reading this book, I realized that there's a lot to my mom and my dad that I don't know about. I don't know what they experienced as a child growing up. I don't know what they felt, what they were scared of, what traumatized them. And I don't know how that played a part into them raising me. They were young parents. My mom was 22, I believe, 22, 23 when she had me. I couldn't imagine me at 23. I was a wild deer, okay? I was wild. And at 23, I could not imagine having a kid, let alone two two kids, and trying to work and deal with, you know, being a wife. What? I mean, I feel like now I would absolutely be receptive and open to kids and all that, because now I feel I'm so secure in myself that I know that I would absolutely how I would raise my kid. But you know, a kid, you know, 22, 23, anything before 20, 25 is like really young. And then, you know, you're a kid yourself trying to raise a baby, and like that, it's almost like you're growing up with your kid. And then don't let your kid be more emotionally advanced than you. You're just going to be like, what the fuck? Like, I know my mom was just like, girl, why again? You're crying? Like, come on, man. And, you know, again, I was a sensitive kid, and everything hurt my feelings. And I understand, and I give that grace to her, and I love her so much. And I know she, I understand. And, I think that by me finding this book, and it really, really helped me to be like, okay, this is a reason why for a lot of things, even in relationships, it played heavy in a lot of relationships. There are a lot of times where I minimized myself because to make the person feel better and to lift them up, but I can't do that anymore. I'm not going to. I don't want to. Like I said, I am who I am. I may cry in one moment, and then in the next I'm laughing hysterically for no reason, and that is just me, and that's not gonna change. And I really, really want to own it. I'm owning it, and I really feel it's just important that, you know, we walk into the room, we show up as ourselves. Whatever that looks like. There are going to be people, and it's another thing, like, we've been living these lives. We've been living our life in this, like, you know, in our shadow selves or whatever, and you know, people are so used to that part of you. They're used to that. And there are going to be people that simply don't understand, that they don't get it. And that's okay. Or they don't like that change, you know, once you actually kind of start, you know, sitting up straight and actually being who you are and standing in your truth and your glory or whatever. And there are going to be people that don't like that shit. They don't like it. They're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable. And that's okay, because they're not your people. The people that are for you will celebrate your growth. They will encourage you to grow, and they will be there for you in all of your evolution. And to me, I want a relationship like that. That's not, you know, you meet me one way and that's how you expect me to be. No, I'm constantly evolving as a person. I'm constantly evolving, thinking, and, you know, my perception and how I see things in life is always changing. And I like that. So I don't want somebody that's going to see me one day. And I think that was kind of like in my relationships, is that they saw me in a certain light, or they met me in a certain space and time, and that's who they are comfortable with me being. And no, I'm not like that. And as I grow, you know, it's just like, it's hard. And, you know, it is what it is. But there's definitely casualties. But like I said, I will link that book in the description, because I really believe it's a powerful book. I've been sending it to all my friends, and I just think that it's a good book. and especially like, I'm 38, all right? So anybody that's 38, younger, or shit, even older, that age group, our parents and our grandparents, that's a tough bunch, because they are like their capacity for emotional understanding and emotional intelligence, it's almost like it's zero. And I'm not talking down on them, but that's just like my observation. It's just like they were so boxed in by these crazy ideals that you can't share family business no matter what it is, and you can't cry in public, you can't be emotional, you can't do this, women gotta be this, women gotta shut up and be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, the guy's supposed to do that. Like, it is to live under those type of times and terms and conditions. Good God, I would have lost my mind. But I trying to give grace to those, like, I feel like our group, our age group, my age group, your age, like, I feel like we should read this book. What does authenticity look like? What does that look like? What does that look like for you? What does that look like for me? I'm asking myself that question. What does authenticity look like? Just showing up as my fucking self, okay? Showing up as me, even if I look crazy, or I'm not 100% that day. Maybe I'm 50, maybe I'm 25%, maybe I'm 30%. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hungry. Maybe I need a nap. Maybe I just need not to be around a whole lot of people. That's showing up to me as my authentic self, whatever that is. If I'm sad, if I'm happy, if I'm mad, I'm gonna let it be known. I'm gonna let people see me. I'm not gonna hide that shit. I think hiding me that's no more. I cannot hide who I am. I'm not going to shrink anymore. I was actually talking to my cousin. I really do love my older cousin. Her name's Marilyn, and she and we always have the best talks, because I feel like her and I, we're first cousins. So her dad is my mom's older brother. And I feel like we had this kind of like parallel growing up. And, even though we were in separate households and, we did see each other a lot, I feel like our experience was very much kind of like the same. And I really love her perspective on her parents, and where she's at. She's a mom. She has 3 beautiful kids, and the way she parents them is so amazing to me, because she lets them be themselves, and she lets them own their feelings, and she doesn't dismiss their feelings. If they said that they're sad about something, she doesn't tell them you don't have nothing to be sad about. And in this book it says that emotionally immature parents, they tend to be very dismissive over, like, if a kid says that they're sad or they're depressed or whatever, they think because they put a roof over your head and they feed you, that's it. But there's so much more in child rearing. And I've learned that just by the fact that I'm around so many of my friends that do have children, that, yeah, it's more than just putting a roof over a kid's head and feeding them and keeping them alive. It's that emotional side that really, really plays a big part in them growing up. And I really love how she allows her kids to be who they are, and allows them to be mad, and allows them to be sad, and doesn't dismiss their feelings, and allows them to feel whatever they choose. If they don't like somebody, they don't have to like them. If I remember growing up, you weren't allowed not to like a family member. But sometimes I feel like kids know when somebody got a spirit on them that's not good. Kids know. And to me, if a kid says, I don't like that person, I don't want to be around them, that's for a reason. Like, kids are so intuitive, and they know when somebody got a bad spirit. And, you know, she was telling me how she doesn't dismiss her daughter's feelings when she doesn't want to be around somebody, or she says she doesn't like a, you know, family member or whatever. And I just thought that was so amazing, because I remember growing up like, shit, what? That's your cousin, that's your uncle, you don't, no, go give him a hug. And then, you know, the parents make you give you know, and you don't like that. You know, sometimes I feel like we all grew up being silenced. And why? Okay, I'll say this. I grew up being silenced. And, you know, that plays, again, I talked about this before in a previous episode, that independent shit. Because, you know, asking for help was a sign of weakness, or needing help was weak. And, you know, speaking up for yourself and that wasn't allowed, and being silenced and stuff like that. Again, I don't want to do that anymore. As I am going through this journey, that I am standing firm in who I am. I'm not shrinking myself anymore. I mean, I used to do that in workplaces. Shit, like I knew I stuck out as like a sore thumb in certain spots that I bartended. You know, when I was in bartending in at D-Bar, I felt completely like I stuck out like a sore thumb, and I tried to blend in, which, you know, I never did, because I refused to wear some of those outfits. I remember they used to get so mad at me and talk shit about me because I wouldn't wear those bodysuits. But I was just like, y'all are bigger than me. I look crazy. I would look crazy in them little bodysuit shits. I just am taking my voice back. I'm taking up space. And I am all about making people feel uncomfortable, and not like in a weird, like, gross way, but in a way where you gonna see me, you gonna feel me, you gonna hear me. And if somebody got a problem, who gonna check me, boo? Who? Because guess what? Guess who sent me? God. God sent me. And who gonna check me? Nobody. And 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, nobody gonna say nothing, because you're gonna get out of the way. Anyways, so yes, guys, like I said, I'm going to, I really want y'all to read this book, because it is so good. And I'm definitely an internalizer. I internalize things before I react. I think about it, and then, you know, whatever. So this book is amazing. I really want you guys to go out and read it, listen to it, whatever, however you retain knowledge. It's called, again, The Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. The topic was living in your true authentic self, walking in that, and not shrinking, and being made to feel like you're too much. Nobody's ever too much. That means if somebody tells you you're too much, then they're not enough. Because, baby, don't come over here again barking up this tree, because I am who the hell I am. And if you are not emotionally, spiritually, mentally prepared to partake in the things that I have to offer, or, you know, my personality, I have a big personality, man. If you're not ready for all that, friendship, dating, colleague-wise, it's cool. I got my people. I know people that love me, that accept me for me. And again, don't get me wrong. I do believe in growth. I do believe in change. I do believe in elevation. I do believe in spiritual growing and personal development. I do believe in all of that. But what I'm not going to change is who I am at my core. I'm loud, I'm funny, I cuss, I drink my beer, I like wine, I like to dance, occasionally do the splits. You know, I like to look like a bum sometimes, But then again, I like to look really pretty. Sometimes I'll do my hair, sometimes I won't. You know, sometimes I'll put some lashes on, sometimes I don't. And that's okay. I talk my shit, I pop off. You know, when you really truly get to know me, I'm a motherfucker. And I stand on that, and I'm going to be that until I am no longer on this planet. But up until that point, baby, my light going to shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. I want y'all to shine bright like a diamond. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening, watching, tuning in. All that great stuff. This is Adriana Cool, and this is the Recovery Party Girl podcast. You can find me on IG, Twitter, the Recovery Party Girl Pod, the Recovery Party Girl podcast. You can look for it on YouTube. Hopefully this video will post. I'm going to try to post the last video because I looked really cute. I thought I looked cute, so I'm going to try to post it again. But anyway, shout out to you guys, and I appreciate you all the time. And thanks so much for listening. I'm out. Peace.